Boynton Beach to be exact. We're at Dava's house, Michigan's mom. Okay, now, a lot of people are pissed off about Bill Belichick, and I hear you. I hear you, and I'm listening, and I feel all your anger toward that stuff. But one of the guys who posted, well, first off, okay, Bill Belichick, 8 wins as a coach and assistant. He went to 12 Super Bowls. He went to 9 with the Pats. He went 2 with the Giants, and he went 1 when Bill Belichick was coaching the Patriots, the 96 season, when they lost to the Packers 35-21 with Drew Bledsoe as quarterback. So he is the most wins by any coach all time. The 8 wins are most by a coach and assistant coach all time. He is the most Super Bowl wins all time as a head coach, and total Super Bowls, 12, is more than anybody. So he has, you name it, he has it. He has everything. So listen, impressed. I love it. Great career. He went to 9 AFC Championship games. With the Pats, he went 31-13, which was a 705 win percentage. In 24 years, he won 266 games, a 687 win percentage, 266 and 121. Overall, 302 wins, 647 win percentage. He went 36-44 in 5 years in Cleveland. With the 2 playoff games with them, they didn't do anything with it. Okay, now there was a voter, Vahi Gregorian, who's been covering the NFL for the Kansas City Star for over 4 decades. And he didn't put Belichick. They said, well, basically, to get in these categories, you had to be in on 80%, which was 40 of the 50 ballots. That means 11 people did not vote for Belichick. This is what he said, Gregorian, which I thought was interesting. He said he said the Hall's curious selection dynamics led him to put his votes elsewhere. Curious selection dynamics. Belichick was competing with Ken Anderson, Roger Craig, and L.C. Greenwood, and contributor Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots. And you can only pick 3 of these, and he needed 80% to do that. Okay. Assumed he'd be voting for Belichick on his first ballot, but he felt that there were 3 richly deserving senior candidates, Ken Anderson, Roger Craig, and L.C. Greenwood, who could be one of their final chances to get in. It's very hard to get in. The NFL doesn't let everybody in. Like NBA, it's college and pro and all that stuff, so it's a little different. Okay. So I did a deep dive. Ken Anderson, Super Bowl appearance after the 81 season. That led to the strike. I remember watching that Super Bowl where they lost 26-21 to the Niners, which was the first Super Bowl win for Joe Montana. That was after the catch, which still pisses me off. And in 81, he was the MVP, Ken Anderson. He threw for 37-54, completed almost 63% of his passes, 29 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. In the Super Bowl that year, 25 of 34, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4 rushes for 15 yards, and another touchdown. And Dan Ross at the time set the record for the most catches. The tight end had 11 for 104, 2 touchdowns. They did get a touchdown at the end, and they also had a goal line stand. I remember the Niners, and this is another thing. So John Montana in his first Super Bowl went 14 for 22 for $157 and a touchdown. So we talk about all these guys and everything. Just an average game. They're going after Cam Newton's going after Drake May. That Drake May's not carrying the team. Listen, Ben Roethlisberger in his first Super Bowl, which I talked about with certain people. Big Ben in his first Super Bowl, which they played Seattle, which the refs people thought, and I agree, refs made some big shitty calls. Big Ben first Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what I was trying to look up. First Super Bowl appearance. And again, my first Super Bowl. Yes. This is what he did. Okay, this is what he did in his first Super Bowl. 9 of 21 for 123 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a rushing touchdown. That's what he did. Now his touchdown run did secure the win. So that's another thing. So you look at that, and Hines Ward did win the MVP that year. But who won the Super Bowl? Did Joe Montana get the Super Bowl in the 1982 Super Bowl? Was it, let me look that up. 1981 Super Bowl MVP. Let me look that up. Wait, so it was 82. Plunkett got an 81. Did he get the MVP Yeah, Joe Montana, for that, I got to be honest with you, that's the year. I don't get it that those numbers to me don't constitute a MVP. But But then again, nobody really played great in that game for definitely Dan Ross could have got some, but usually you don't get. Chuck Howley's the only losing player to win in a Super Bowl. So there's that. So 1982 Super Bowl stats. Okay, here we're going to look at it right here. Okay. Now, as I said, the best, let me see player stats because that was bothering me. Player stats. Yeah, Montana, rushing wise, Ricky Patton ran for 55 yards. Earl Cooper ran for 34, but Earl Cooper also caught one for a touchdown. Yeah, nobody really put up great stats. Receiving wise, Freddie Solomon, yeah, I guess because he was the winning quarterback and he did have a touchdown and a rushing touchdown, but you could have given it to someone on defense. Eric Wright had an interception. Dwight Hicks had an interception. Who had a lot of sacks in that game? Well, you had a bunch of guys. He was sacked. Remember Keena Turner back in the day? Jack Hacksaw Reynolds. It's interesting. So he got MVP for a game where nobody, so do Ken Anderson. 16-year career, 2-4 in the playoffs, went to one Super Bowl. He completed 66% of his passes in the playoffs, 13-21, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for his career. 838 passing yards, 59% completion, 197 touchdowns, 160 interceptions. I got to be honest with you. I think Ken Anderson in Hall of Fame. One 4-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro, 1981 MVP. Hall of Fame should be for the should be for the best, not the very, very good. And he was good. He was a good quarterback. Won an MVP. Some things other guys didn't win. He was had good completion percentages during his career. Would I have put where I put his vote on that one? Would I have said, hey, that's the guy that I would put my vote toward? Is that the guy? No. Mr. Gregorian, no. I'm not. Now, L.C. Greenwood, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 4-time Super Bowl winner, 1970s All-Decade team. You get in an All-Decade team, that's something I look at. 8 years in the playoffs. He 12.5 sacks, 13 years in Pittsburgh, 4 forced fumbles, 14 fumble recoveries, 78 sacks in 13 years, and he did have a safety in his career. He did have double-digit sacks in his career. That was a hell of a defense. A lot of guys are into that team. I think L.C. Greenwood with his gold sneakers was a guy undervalued in that bit. So, okay, that's a guy I might think. Okay, but you still have 3 votes. And Roger Craig, okay, 4-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, 3-time Super Bowl winner, 1988 Offensive Player of the Year. In 88, he rushed for 1,502 yards, 9 touchdowns, another 76 catches, 534, and a touchdown receiving. For his career, 8,189 yards, 56 touchdowns rushing, 566 catches, 4,911 yards, 17 touchdowns. So 73 touchdowns, over 13,000 of total offense, 11 years, had played his best years in San Francisco, went to the Raiders for a year, Minnesota for 2. He did have in 85, he had 1,050 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns, 92 catches, 1,016, 6 touchdowns. Now, CMC has done it, but he was really one of the first to do that. He had 1,000. So 18 games in the playoffs, 841 yards, 7 touchdowns, another 63 catches, 606, 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's kind of, also a guy who I thought played some very good football, 11 years, over 8,000 yards, was great out of the backfield, was a great all-purpose. He did have that fumble in 90 when they were going for a three-peat. They lost to the Giants. I want to hear from other people what they think about this. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like he has a point, and after going through L.C. Greenwood, I don't think all 3 deserve to get in. And Belichick, and I know people are going after Deflategate and Spygate and all that stuff, but it's Belichick. I mean, there'd be no football, and I'm tired of hearing that, I know that Brady won without him. Was it really him? Dude, he was with the Giants, with LT, then he went to New England. Things were turning around in Cleveland, and they got rid of him, and that led them to moving the team to Baltimore, where they won a championship in Baltimore a couple of years later. 6 rings, 12 Super Bowls, 8 as a coach and as an assistant coach. And he was a main part of those teams. He was assistant head coach with the 96 Pats. He was with the Giants teams of 86 and 90. He was an integral part of those teams. He was, you can't think of football without Belichick. Now, Elsie Greenwood, I think, gets in. Ken Anderson, no. Roger Craig, very good, not Hall of Fame. But Elsie Greenwood, he was a major part of the Steel Curtain. So I don't understand. Going through this now, in my head, I'm saying it, and I would say, well, maybe he's got a point there, and I understand, but are these three senior candidates real? And Robert Kraft, it's a done deal for me. It's LC, Belichick, and Kraft. And no offense, Ken Anderson and Roger Craig, you're not getting in. It should have been that easy. I don't understand how 11 people can look at him, but I know that everybody goes, when you cheat, they go crazy, and they want to get rid of you. So, yeah, bullshit. So I'm glad I did my work, and as I'm talking to all of you, I'm going through my head all that stuff. Now, Todd Monken is the new Browns coach. Jim Schwartz was furious, thought he was getting the job, and now they don't think he says, I'm done, I'm leaving. Okay, now he was Tampa Bay's offensive coordinator 2016 to 18, where the offense in those 3 years went 11, 25, and 26. He's with Cleveland in 2019, and they thought highly of him when the offense finished 23rd. So you're telling me 7 years later, all of a sudden you're like, Todd Monken is the guy now. He's 59 years old. He's been in 3 years in Baltimore, 23. They were number one, first overall in offense, 6 and 24. Last year, Lamar was hurt, 16. Emmanuel Ocho thinks that he's not offensive-minded enough to be the head coach and work with Shador, which is, Emmanuel Ocho just says shit, and it doesn't make any sense to me. It never did. And he's 59 years old. I've heard in the past he was up. He won a national championship with Ohio State as their offensive coordinator a couple seasons ago. So he's won at a bunch of different places. Well, this is the thing, Barnes. It may be an odd hire, but he has done it. It is not an odd hire. He's been in football for a very long time. He's been offensive coordinator for a very long time. I like to hear from the people. This is the thing. I'm not crazy about any of this stuff. I feel like teams jump. Now, Tony sent me a very interesting thing about Joe Brady that I wanted to talk about that I thought was very interesting. He said, what are my thoughts on this? And I said, Tony, and I kind of want to read it in its entirety. Yeah, okay, here it is. Drew Duncan. Now, I don't know who Drew Duncan is. Let's see, who is Drew Duncan? Is Drew Duncan just a dude? No, it's just some dude. Oh, Drew Duncan Radio. So I guess Drew Duncan is someone on the radio. Well, okay, so this is an interesting thing. This is what he said. Let's be clear about what Buffalo actually did here. They didn't choose Joe Brady. They landed on Joe Brady. This was not their first choice, and it wasn't their second. We don't know how far down the pipeline he was, but we do know this much. Phillip Rivers withdrew. Mike McDaniel didn't even interview, and other candidates clearly passed when Buffalo called. That alone tells you this job wasn't viewed the way Buffalo thinks it should be viewed. If you watch Terry Pegula's post-game comments, the decision didn't come off as calculated or strategic. It came off as emotional. He talked about the locker room, how hurt the players were, how bad he felt for Josh Allen. That's not leadership, that's reaction. Feeling bad for players does not mean you fire a head coach who has been objectively successful. And if Buffalo is truly ready to reset, then let's stop pretending you can isolate one side of this equation. McDermott and Josh Allen. And McDermott has said that he is not, who reached out to him? Tampa Bay reached out to him to joining their team this year, and he says, I'm taking a year off, which I respect. Take a year off. There'll be jobs for you next year. There was jobs this year. So he says, you don't get to credit one and absolve other depending on the season. But there is a separating factor between them. And that's where this conversation should have been framed from the beginning. McDermott's first year in Buffalo, he went 9-7 with Tyrod Taylor. The following year with rookie Josh Allen, they went 6-10. That tells you something fundamentally was already before Allen ever became a star. So when coaches turn down interviews and candidates don't even engage, the problem isn't simply that McDermott was fired. The problem is why the job didn't sell itself. That's organizational, cultural, and bigger than one coach in a single season. And then there's Josh Allen. Buffalo can keep protecting the image if they want, but the facts don't change. 15 playoff games, 15 fumbles. Tom Brady, 48 playoff games. I don't know if that's fair to compare, but yes, it is something. 48 playoff games, 16 total. He does get a little loose with the football. I agree with that. That's not narrative, that's ball security. Until Josh Allen fixes the most basic part of playing quarterback, he will never be what Buffalo believes he already is. You can change coaches' titles and messaging all you want. That flaw travels with me. Now, yes, it travels with me. He's still a hell of a quarterback. He is still a hell of a quarterback. But I don't know how many people... Listen, got passed over. Dable still is interested in the Raiders job, but supposedly he's him and Sal in Tennessee, and everybody's saying my cousin Sammy, Michigan's cousin Sammy put up that's now a very good conference. I don't know. Is Sal really the guy? Is he going to get it done? Todd Monken has been coaching for a very long time. A very long time. Listen, Todd Monken has been coaching since he's 59 years old. He's been doing this a long freaking time. He started out graduate assistant at Grand Valley State in 89-90, Notre Dame, graduate assistant 91-92, Eastern Michigan for 5 years, actually 5 years, then 7 years, where and then Louisiana Tech for 1-2, then he went to Oklahoma, went to LSU, the Jags for 4 years, wide receivers, Oklahoma State, offensive coordinator, head coach at Southern Miss. So that's all the head coaching experience. In Tampa Bay, Cleveland, Georgia for 3 years, Baltimore for 3 years. Now, so head coach, college coach, he was 13 and 26. So Southern Miss was not a great job. What did he do with Southern Miss? I'm trying to, he hired to replace Ellis Johnson at 0 for 12. Impressive turnaround his third season. They went 9-5, playing in the heart of Dallas Bowl. He was named Conference USA. So, he brought a team that was 0 a team that didn't win a game and brought them around. Listen, I'm not a Browns person, so I'm not 100%. I was a little like Todd Monken, but there was a ton of jobs this year. And, everybody's saying that Jesse Minter with the Ravens, who worked with Jim Harbaugh with Michigan. Did I feel he was ready to coach? I feel like the team took a step. Now, the defense was good this year, but did he really deserve a head coaching position? And then you got Aaron Glenn, who decides the other day, Tanner Eggstrand, you know what? It's not working. Why all of a sudden now is it not working? The season's over. It's been weeks. And now they decided, the Jets, hey, we need a new head coach. Are you fucking kidding me? And then on top of it, so Wink Martindale wanted the job. And then Michigan sends me this shit. I mean, not this shit, but she sent me this. What'd she send me? Okay, this was good. Yeah, Wink Martindale. This is from Connor Hughes. And this, I don't know if Barnes talked about this today, but this infuriated me. Martindale and Glenn began, this is from Jets video. Martindale and Glenn began discussing a partnership in December, with talks heating up to the point Martindale pieced together a staff who began telling SNY touched base with it, and it was a done deal. Now, this is in December. The plan was to have Martindale run the defense. Saturday, Martindale flew to Florham Park for an in-person interview. This was believed to be a formality. Dot the I's, cross the T's, boom. So upon his arrival, talking to sources close to the situation, the original plan discussed between him and Glenn changed. Glenn says he wanted a call. He wanted to call the defensive plays. This was not something previously discussed with Martindale. Why would Martindale, a guy who's been coaching forever and has been running defenses, Glenn, all of a sudden, when you gave 188 points the last 5 fucking games, and all of a sudden you're saying, I'm the guy to run the defense. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This was not something previously discussed or other candidates the Jets touch base with. This is where a potential partnership fell apart and why Jim Leonard was never considered a realistic option. Sources told SNY on Monday that the Jets now preferred a lesser-known coordinator, with Glenn calling the plays. They found that in Duker. Duker. Who the fuck is Duker? So I looked up. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Duker. Okay, so Duker is 36 years old, passing game coordinator and secondary coach for the Dolphins, was on Lions staff from 21 to 23, a rising assistant at the time. And that's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. Really? That's who we're talking about. Really? And I was like, what the fuck are the Jets doing? Got rid of all these guys. Now you got a defensive coordinator, but you're going to let Glenn call the plays, and Woody Johnson's all along for it. So another shit show of a year. You don't have a quarterback, and now Duker is going to be the guy who's going to be the lackey, who's not going to even call plays, because Aaron Glenn thinks I know what the fuck I'm doing, right? I know what I'm doing. Brian Duker. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Now, Charlie Weiss Jr., who was at Ole Miss last 3 years, running a good offense, now is going with Kiffin to the Giants. That's who HEJ said that because they lost Monken. They thought Monken was going to come with Harbaugh to the Giants. That's not happening. So now maybe he is now in the mix for the Giants OC. I said, well, he's a college guy, never coached in the pros, but he's been with his dad since he was in high school, since he was a kid. and with the Patriots and everything, and he was doing assistant work when he was in college. So we'll see how that one works out. But I was like, I don't know about this. I'm not 100% sure on this. And then there's the Rangers. Oh, my Rangers. Artemi Panarin is now being held out through the Olympic break until it starts February 5th. But basically, teams are trying to get stuff done before the Olympics so that they can go on. When is the NHL Olympic break? NHL Olympic break is the 6th to the 24th. So there's a kind of like a deadline. They're trying to get deals done. So reportedly, Panarin wants a trade, and he wants a contract extension with the team he's going to go to. And I think he's all about money. I don't know if he's 100% about winning. So he's being held out. That started last night. The Rangers had a back-to-back. Last night they were at UBS. Tonight they're at the Garden. They were the last team to win a game in 2026 at home the other night when they got a win in overtime over the Bruins, who had come in there 8-1 their last 9. Cooley scored early. Rangers scored first. Vakinen. Who got it? Cooley off of Vakinen and Laba. Better player when he plays north-south. That's what they say about Will Cooley. Elias Lindholm had 2 goals for the first time this season. JT Miller got his 14th that night. And 2 goals. Mika, 9-game point streak against Boston. He had assists the other night. 13 points, 5 goals, 8 assists. Rempe, first game since January 10th. The hand, he really can't fight and everything. Since the 10-2 loss to Boston. They had a 5-on-3, a 5-on-4. The Rangers got 4 shots, no goals, but that's common for the Rangers. They do that shit all the time. Also, Pasternak got his 900th point off Morgan Geekie goal, and Geekie went to get the puck because he wanted to get to Pasternak, that was his 29th goal, who's having a mid-career resurgence or renaissance, whatever. Yeah, he's playing out of his mind. 26 points in the last 13 games, 6 goals, 20 assists, 3 assists the other night for Pasternak against, so he's playing good. Michigan's right. New York Rangers going into the game had been 0-6 with the Centennial jersey. Now they're 1-6. So that's a good thing. Susie was traded to the Islands for a 3rd-round pick for Emily Kaplan. 4th trade ever between the teams. 46 games with the Rangers, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Will Borgen got his 3rd goal. First goal in the last 24 games. It went off the back of Peak to make it 3-3. And then Matthew Robertson, who got an assist from Quick, first home win at 26, 6th win at home. This is Michigan said the other night. 6th win, and it was January 20, what's today's date? What is today's the 29th, right? 29th. Can you believe that? We were like, what the fuck? At the end, they played Monday night. We were like, what? Right? Crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, just crazy. And it was a really nice goal for him in overtime. So they ended up first home win of the so. Then last night, Panarin, as I said, 5-2. Mika had his 22nd power play. Radish had his 8th. JT Miller had an assist. Andres Palat had a goal and assist first game after the trade from the Devils to the Islanders. Islanders 2 straight wins. Spencer Martin had 31 saves. They are 1-4 their last 5, 2-8-1 since the Winter Classic. Listen, they're not going anywhere. They're last in the East. They're playing some terrible hockey right now. And yeah, I mean, right now in the East standings, if I'm going by conference, it's not good. They're 5 points out of even a playoff spot. And you're like, playoffs? I mean, we're not even talking playoffs. This retool, I guess when they get rid of Panarin, Mika's not going anywhere, so we're going to see what happens on that front. ESPN decides to work whenever, every once in a while it works. Most of the time it doesn't. It's just like slow as shit. And Penn State, I saw, they have an outdoor classic this weekend where they are playing Sunday against Michigan State. They're number 2 in the country, number 5 in the country. Michigan State is number 2, and they're playing Saturday the 31st at 1 p.m. at the football stadium. And the Friday night, the women are playing against Robert Morris. So this game Saturday is on BTN. So that's I think that's exciting for that to happen. And I'm looking at the divisional, all right, let's see, wow, could we already be in Eastern Conference? So the Islanders are Islanders right now are in a playoff spot, which is crazy. Yeah, Islanders are in, and the Rangers are 6 points behind the Devils. So, and way behind. And out of a playoff spot right now, they are 13. Because I'm looking, 15 out of a playoff spot. So the Islanders are in, even though they have less points than Montreal and Boston in their conference, which is crazy, right? Yeah, that is. All right, let's look at conference. Yeah, the Islanders are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 8th right now. And Montreal with the points, but I don't know if because they do this, with the whole standings and conference, they really are behind, but they're in the playoff race. I find this all very confusing, how they built it up. It should be 1-8 and we're done with that. So that happened there. Yeah, Michigan versus Michigan State tomorrow. Michigan ended the 20-0 start for Nebraska, 75-72. And as arbitrary analytics told me, they were missing a bunch of players. There are only 2 undefeated teams right now, Arizona and Miami of Ohio. And Milton is going to the game against Michigan State. Are they playing at home on Michigan State? Is Michigan basketball? I don't know if that game is home or away. Michigan basketball is, yes. No, they're at Michigan State tomorrow. So 3 versus 7. In the Ken Palm, we have 2 undefeated teams now, Miami, Ohio, and Arizona, which is number 1 in the country, and Ken Palm, which is everybody goes to for their rankings. UNC is 28, Michigan is 2, Duke is 3, St. John's on a 7-game win streak, beat Butler, they're 21, Seton Hall 49, Miami, Ohio is 88 in the Ken Palm, and Akron, which is 17-4, is the highest ranked MAC team at 53. So they really haven't played a great schedule, but they're still 21-0. I'll take 21-0 all day long. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, and the Yankees signed. Who did the Yankees sign? Yeah, I saw this Yankees signing. Another guy who hasn't done shit. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, not Cody Bellinger. No, not Cody Bellinger. They traded for, who'd they get? Yankees got from, I have some great stats in this guy. It's kind of scary that the Yankees think they could do these reclamation projects and all these guys they keep signing. And yeah, I almost feel like, you know what? Go off the internet because it's slow as shit. Yeah, what I'm hearing on Retool, okay, yeah, before Drake May, I punted. No, that's not what I was looking for. The Yankees signed a guy, and I thought it was great, the guy they brought in. Yeah, Yankees, here we go, Yankees. They got a kid from the Rockies. Now, Rockies is the best place. Oh, the Yankees trade. It was a trade. They traded a Yankees trade. And of course, it's slow as shit. So, yeah, I don't have any patience for this stuff. Yankees trade. And I saw this and I was like, this is who the Yankees are getting, huh? Yeah. Everything's slowish. Well, Florida, it's not my internet. So, all right, if I don't find this right away, I'm done. And slow as shit. All right. So I have it here, and let me get to it. I apologize. I am on location. I'm trying to find the guy the Yankees signed. That is not the guy I was looking for. Wait, is this it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yankees added depth. Angel Chivilli in a trade with Colorado Rockies, betting that a move away from one of baseball's most unforgiving pitching environments could help unlock the 23-year-old's potential. And I always love that potential thing because I always feel like that comes back and bites you in the ass. So they gave up T.J. Rumfield, who was blocked in the organization by Ben Rice's emergence. Rumfield finished 2025 with a 121 WRC plus and 16 home runs for AAA Scranton. His path to majors is now much clearer with the Rockies. Chivilli's numbers were unsightly. Yes, I would say very. 7.06 ERA, nearly 2 home runs allowed per 9 innings, and barely more than 6 strikeouts per 9 across 43 appearances. The Yankees are clearly looking past the surface level stats in targeting him. So they see something that none of us see because he didn't get it done last year, but they think the Yankees will be able to fix him. Chivilli's, okay. His fastball velocity is 97.1, ranking in the 88th percentile. Slider grades out with 110 stuff plus. His changeup had a 42.6 whiff rate, and his ground ball rate was 49.8, was in the 84 percentiles. With necessary tweaks from the Yankees pitching department, could become an important bullpen arm. Could, potentially. He's still pre-arbitration eligible, has a minor league option remaining, so they can simply send him to AAA. They did last year with Jake Bird, who they acquired at the trade deadline. The club is counting on Bird after an offseason in their system to be part of their opening day bullpen. You got Bednar, Cruz, Duvall, and Tim Hill, pitchers who have not yet shown anything. Chivilli now enters that group who could emerge. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I hear that stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I just call bullshit. I just don't. It's another guy that you hope, you pray for the best. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't know at all. I just feel like you throw stuff against the wall and, our Yankees guys are going to fix this and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Chivilli's going to be the answer. Right. I agree with that. Yeah. No, 100% no. 100% I call bullshit. I'm not, yeah. All right. Yeah. Have fun. Nice going. Nice. Enjoy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Melania is getting $40 million for her documentary. $40 million. I was like, wow. It's good to be, it's good to be the king and the queen in this case. So did anything happen today? I was looking to see if I missed anything. Yeah. Minter, I want to build a bond with Lamar. You have to. What are you talking about? Boxer Davis arrested after 2-week search. I'll tell you, Gervonta Davis just can't stay out of trouble, man. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Oh, and Dunn announces her retirement from the U.S. women's national team. Crystal Dunn, 33. Spent more time with her husband and the 3-year-old son, Marcel. I dreamed everything I wanted to. I've done everything I can do. All right. She made one appearance with PSG from Gotham. She was with Gotham FC. She was part of the U.S. team that won the 2019 World Cup, 2024 Olympic gold. She played in the 2008 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, the 2010 FIFA Under-20s World Cup, and the 2012 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, at which she helped lead the United States to the top of the podium in Japan. She played for 6 different professional clubs in her career, Washington Spirit, before heading to Chelsea for a stint with the now U.S. head coach Emma Hayes. She then came back to the NWSL. The Cougars won the 2018-19 NWSL championships. In the 2019, she scored in both the semifinal and the final. She also helped the Thorns win the NWSL title in 2022 and won the NWSL Shield 3 times. She's a hell of a player, man. She played at UNC, first picked by the Spirit in 2014 NWSL draft. She won the Mack Herman Trophy as a top player as a junior, when she also helped lead UNC to the NCAA title. And she finished second to future U.S. teammate Morgan Bryan as a senior. She was a 4-time All-American at UNC. First player to win ACC Player of the Year 3 times since Mia Hamm did it in '93. I would say she's accomplished everything. Did you see the tickets now? They said the tickets for the LeBron, the Lakers-Knicks games, $912 get in price now, which is the highest since the last game that Kobe played in 2016. $912. If you have the money, more power to you. Yeah, LeBron tears up a possible last game in Cleveland. Oh, and then Brian Beasy sent me something that LeBron says it's much harder to play 82 games now than it was when Jordan played, because of course even charter flights now are harder, I would guess, for the teams and the hotels and everything, and having everything at your disposal. It's much harder to play 82 games. You just choose not to play 82 games. Yeah. Sabalenka beat Svitolina. Pagula lost. So that's the end of that. Yes. So her 4th Aussie final. Jason Williams rookie jersey sells to an outside for $140,000. Good for him, dude. Yeah. Survey: parents of top reason youth coaches quit. Are we shocked about this? Parents get crazy. They really do. And most kids give up playing sports at the age of 13. They burn out. We're watching The Pit, season 1. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. There's an episode with a dad, a baseball kid and his dad. I'm not giving anything away, But you could see how far a parent pushes the kid, where the kid isn't into it as much as the parent is into it. And they push these kids away from sports, which is crazy, but it happens all the time. Yes, and the Chargers hire Western Michigan's OC, Chris O'Leary, and the Western Michigan had a phenomenal season. 10 games they won. They won their bowl game. His defense was ranked 9th in the FBS and 2nd in the MAC conference in scoring defense. They were the second best unit in total net yards allowed per game at 305.5, which ranked 19th in the nation. He spent 6 seasons in Notre Dame, starting as a defensive analyst before eventually becoming a defensive backs and safety coach, where he coached current Chargers cornerback Cam Hart. He was also involved with Kyle Hamilton. He was a wide receiver in college. Yeah. I mean, he's got his start in coaching under Minter as a graduate assistant at Georgia State in 2014-15 when Minter was the school's defensive coordinator. All these guys have been a long time. I just felt that Minter, I don't know. I thought there would have been more people reaching out, more guys trying to get the job with the Ravens, the Bills, and everything. So Joe Brady's been talked about for years. Todd Monken's been in the business for a long time. Minter's been, I'm just like, okay, listen, they could prove me wrong. Most guys start out, go from there. You got Vrabel, who really was only defensive coordinator 1 year with the Titans in 17. And Mike McDonald worked under Jim Harbaugh, went to the Ravens, got this head coaching job. It's going to be an interesting Super Bowl. I don't agree with Cam Newton going after Drake May. As you saw, guys have had mediocre games in Super Bowls, and teams have won the games. 157 yards he didn't make any mistakes. Montana the one, and especially Big Ben's first Super Bowl. I know he got the winning score on a touchdown, but did not play a good game at all. Did not have a good game at all. So that's what happens. Hey, that's why we play the games. Yes. Yeah. And Pagula lost to, today we have Alcaraz versus Zverev in the semifinals and Djokovic versus Sinner. Sinner beat, who did he beat? Who was the American? Who did Sinner beat in his last match? I see his face. Sinner. He beat Ben Shelton in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. And he's beaten 21 straight sets against Ben Shelton. And then Michigan said, well, how can he get better? I go, listen, I feel like Sinner and Alcaraz are up here and everybody else is just swimming upstream. And there's such a disparity in talent of the top two men in tennis compared to everybody else. Sinner and Alcaraz are the best of the best, and they're going to be fighting for Grand Slams for the next couple of years. And I don't think Ben Shelton's ever going to crack unless one of the guys, he can't beat these guys. And Djokovic can't play five setters. This is when he's out. Sinner's going to run around the court, and that's going to be end of Djokovic. And it is what it is right now. Tennis is what it is. So I see Sinner Alcaraz meeting again in the final of the Australian Open. I don't see anything changing that. Pagula lost to Rabinica 6-3, 7-6, 9-7 in the tiebreak in the second set, and Sabalenka beat Svitolina, who beat Coco Gauff for 59 minutes. She beat her 6-2, 6-3. Coco lost in 2 sets, and then afterwards, where she didn't think there was a camera, she was bashing a racket, and players were saying, we can't have any, listen, I'd be pissed too. I lost in 59 minutes. I'd be pissed too. And I feel like you got to give them, we don't have to see everything. We don't have to see everything. They should have privacy, where they should have moments when they're pissed off. Let them be pissed off. Let them be upset. I think we need more of that. That's a trivia question for a future show. All right. No, we did all that stuff. Yeah. See, I can talk about a lot of stuff. I'm keeping track on the clock. I want to be done before they get home. We have one more episode to watch of season 1 of The Pit, which I highly recommend to anybody. Yeah, Elsie Greenwood passed in 2013 at the age of 69, I think. How about this from Poly Market Hoops? Steph Curry is less than 2,000 points away from being top 10 all-time in scoring. He's currently 22nd. There's not going to be enough. And this was interesting from StatMuse. Left is the 2025 NBA. Right is Luka. So last year, Luka got the MVP with 33 points per game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, almost 2 steals a game. This year, Luka is averaging 34 points a game, almost 8 rebounds, almost 9 assists, and a little over 1.5 steals per game. I would say Luka is, but then again, what are the Lakers playing for right now? That's the thing too. Knicks have won a couple games with Knicks. Let's look at those NBA standings. Knicks won last night. You got the Heat versus the Bulls. The Knicks are not playing again until Pistons play the Warriors. Pistons are 34-11. North Carolina plays Georgia Tech on Saturday the 31st, and the Yankees' first game is February 20th. Did Barnes put up 55 days till baseball? Dude, they're going to suck anyway. And the Marlins and Mets, it's the same team as last year. I hate to say, I really hate to be that guy, but, I just don't see them. Yeah, I don't. It's just amazing how none of this works. It's just amazing how ESPN, which I've paid all this money a month to use, takes forever for it to pop up. It just goes, it's just this constant, slow, it's just rendering. Oh, wow, hey, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked for. I didn't ask for that screen. And then it just goes somewhere else. So Jimmy Johnson I give a shit about. No, I don't. I'll tell you, I could have a meltdown right now, but I'm not going to have a meltdown. But ESPN's app is the slowest for the amount of money I pay a month, which is ungodly for this stupid fucking app to get stuff to listen, to talk about, and for it to open. Look at this. 1,000. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Yeah, the Knicks are playing. Oh, Trailblazers Friday night. They're 29-18. So let's see what the Knicks are doing with the standings right now. Okay, in the East, here we go. Conference. The Knicks are second, 6 games back of the Pistons, tied with Boston. They were behind Boston. They caught up. The Knicks in their last 10 games are 4-4. And last 10 games are 5-5. I'm sorry, but they're on a 4-game win streak. But they played shitty teams, so they should beat Portland too. OKC had their first back-to-back home losses. Now they're 38-10. They're 5.5 up on San Antonio, 6.5 up on Denver. They are 7-3 their last 10. Who's on the biggest win streak right now? Sacramento's lost 6 in a row. Memphis and Utah have lost 4 in a row. Clippers lost 3 in a row. Minnesota's won. And that's another thing. Giannis might be going to Minnesota. I said, who are you giving up to get him? That's what I was more interested in. Who are you giving up to get him? Atlanta's won 4 in a row. The Hornets have won 4 in a row. The Nets have lost 6 in a row. 1-9 the last 10. Nets are terrible. But the Nets are actually a game ahead of, they've played less games than Indiana. Indiana's played 48. They've only played 45. So that's why they're ahead of Indiana by a game and a half. And they're a game ahead, of Washington, because they played basically the same number of games. 12 wins for the Brooklyn. Wow. What about in the West? Yes, we have a lot of shitty teams. Utah, Sacramento, and New Orleans. Now, I really feel like they're not going to catch them. So the Knicks right now would have to, that's what I'm looking at. The 7, 8, 9, 10 is Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and Chicago, which means they would play one of those teams. And I don't know how that's going to work out for them. And Phoenix, Golden State, Portland, and the Clippers. The Lakers are 28-18, 5th in the conference. Right now they play Houston, which I would give Houston the edge in those games. And Hal says he wants to go to a hockey game. Hal, we'll make it good. Yay. Good. Have fun. Cool. Yep. So we have that. That is awesome. Yeah. So I was talking about that, talking a little bit. We talked Belichick. This is crazy from Josh Paloha. This is crazy. A quarterback who has been in college for less than 3 years hasn't won the national championship since when? A quarterback who has been in college for less than 3 years hasn't won the national championship since when? 2018, Trevor Lawrence. Julian Sayin will be in his 3rd year next fall. That is crazy. It's all the transfer portal. And you saw Darian Menza. He settled with Duke, so now they said he's signing with Miami for a lot more money, like $6.5 million. Yes, Knicks Lakers on Sunday is $912. Thank you, Stephen Bondi for that. Stephen Bondi for that one. Yes, Melania. Make fuck, get green card. A new film. I thought that was hilarious. Liker, thank you for that one. Audie Crooks has scored 2,000 career points in just 89 games. It's the fewest to reach that mark in Big 12 history. Woman can play basketball. And a lot of people bashing her for her size. Listen, we're all born with our bodies. It's what we do with it. She is athletic as shit. She can play basketball. Audie Crooks this year is having, let me look up Audie Crooks' stats. Audie Crooks is having a season this year. She is averaging 26.6 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. I would think she'd average more rebounds. 1.7 assists, 68% from the field, almost a block a game, almost 2 turnovers a game. Free throw percentage is 72. She's got to get that up. She has gone up in all her numbers this year. She averaged 19 in 23. She's a junior. She averaged 19 and she's been around the rebounds have been the same. Free throw percentage, that's what I'm looking at. 65. She's at 70% this season. She's got to get that up. It was 65 her first year, 68. Her field goal percentage is 67. She does not take 3-pointers. She will have to take a lot more 3-pointers for the next level. So she isn't she's more of a scorer than a rebounding machine. I thought she'd have more rebounds a game. But congrats to you on having a phenomenal start to your Big 12 career. WNBA will be very happy to get you on their courts. Yeah, Monken we talked about already. He was on Freddie Kitchen's staff in 2019, made an impression with Browns ownership. Yeah, so now Giants have to find somebody else. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We talked about O'Leary already. We talked about him. Good for you, Chris O'Leary. Todd Monken, 5 years. Jim Schwartz not coming back, it sounds like. We shall see how that works out. If the Raiders, this is from Joshua Bull, if the Raiders hire Clint Kubiak as head coach, it will be the first time they hired a coordinator from a Super Bowl team since Mike Shanahan was hired after a stint as Browns offensive coordinator in 1988, and that did not work out well. Mike Shanahan, let's look up Mike Shanahan. That was a very short partnership. Well, Al Davis, his son also pulls the trigger way too fast. Mike Shanahan was how many times, was it 2 years with the Raiders? Yes, 7-9, it was fired 4 games into season 2. So he went 8-11. He didn't get another head coaching job until 95. So he went with the Raiders, he went 8-12 in 20 games. Went to Denver for 224, went 138, 86 of 616, won 2 Super Bowls. Went to Washington for 4 years, and they went. He had the one good year with RG3, 10-6, and then they went 3-13. He was done. 2 years. I don't know, and I don't know why Clint Kubiak would want that job. If Brady is involved with it more, then maybe. But I don't know how that's going to work out. I really don't. I feel like you're playing with fire with that one. Jason Tatum, I saw this yesterday from Polymarket Sports. Jason Tatum is reportedly contemplating his options. He could come back at the end of the season, may choose to sit up. I guess I would see how the team is doing, and if I feel like I can contribute, and I'll tell you, it's there for the taking to get back to the NBA Finals because the Knicks aren't playing great basketball. It's an unknown commodity right now with the Pistons. They're still a young team. They made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. You expect them to take that bigger jump to the NBA Finals. They are the best team in the East right now. They have played some good basketball, very good basketball this year. I don't know. But I would say, unless I was 100%, I wouldn't come back and take that chance. That's me. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I thought that, time will tell. I think they're going to be in the running, and I think it's anybody can make the finals this year in the East. The West, they're going to beat the shit out of each other, not the East. Thank you, Dale Bliss is on vacation in Mexico. The 2025 Ducks had 100 plays from scrimmage of 20 yards or more, the most in the nation. Good season, not a great season, but everybody's coming back. Brandon Miller, this is from Justin Russo yesterday, was a plus 31 last night. It was the 5th time this season he's posted a plus-minus of plus 30 or better in a game, which leads the NBA. Record for tracking error since 96-97 in a single season is 9. He's done it 5 times this season. Yeah, 5 times, and the record is 9. So Brandon Miller has been having a season. So let's look up what's Brandon Miller been doing. Oh, here we go. Brandon Miller. Remember he got in that trouble at someone got shot when he was up at Bama? He is averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 43% from the field. He is, what's he shooting? He is shooting, well, his points per game have gone through the roof. Actually, he averaged 21 last year, 20 and a half this last year. More turnovers per game, personal fouls about the same, blocks a little bit up, steals about the same, assists his same as last year, rebounds less than last year. Free throw percentage, he's an 86%, which is better. He's doing a little better than last year. His field goal percentage is 527 over 509 last year. 2.9, 49. That was much as his second. 3-point shooting, 37. Same. He's been good. He's playing about 30 minutes a game. He's played all 31 games, 31 starts. All right, he's 23 years old. I would say he's doing pretty well. So I saw that. I was like, that was pretty cool. Fewest career playoff wins for AFC Championship winning quarterback. Tom Brady, 2001, was his first playoffs. Drake May, 3. Mahomes, 3. And Burrow, 3. Is that interesting? No, not that much. I saw it. I was like, okay, it was their first fucking playoffs. St. John's blew out Butler. They were up by 25 with 3 minutes left. Kicked their asses. Sources say the we know that. Panarin wants money. So this is interesting. They said the 2026 Australian Open has had the most chalk of any tennis Grand Slam this century. 7 of the top 8 men and 6 of the top 8 women made the quarterfinals. I'm telling you, the level of the top to the bottom, and then to get to the top, it's big. It's big. It's big. So, it happens, but, I just don't think Shelton's going to catch him. This was amusing. Jerry Beach wrote, Matt Rempe did Matt Rempe things and barreled in Scott Mayfield. The second Islanders player to the ensuing scrum was Carson Soucy. Awkward. Thought that was funny. Yeah, so they interviewed Darrell Bevel, Ronald Curry, the former UNC player, Frank Reich, Greg Roman, and Lunda Wells for offensive coordinator. Bevel's has been to a Super Bowl. Frank Reich has won a Super Bowl. Greg Roman has... now, I don't know anything about Lunda Wells. Let's look up Lunda Wells while we're here, right? Let's look up Lunda Wells. Who's Lunda Wells? Let's give Lunda Wells. Then I want to see what Curry's done. Lunda Wells is not coming through. It's taking its sweet ass time. He is a tight end coach for the Cowboys. He's held since 2020. He previously coached the New York Giants. So he played at Southern. He was an offensive lineman. He's been at LSU. He's been with the Giants and as a quality control coach, assistant offensive line coach for 5 years, tight ends coach for 2 years, and he's been with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Ronald Curry was good enough to play 2 sports in college at UNC and played quarterback. And I remember that, he was a phenomenal. He's former wide receiver and current quarterback coach for the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, he was, oh my God. He was one of the greatest athletes ever. I mean, he's been with the Niners, Saints, both of the offensive assistants. Saints, 3 years wide receiver coach, quarterback coach for 1 year, and then he became quarterback coaching and passing coordinator for 2 years, and he's a quarterback coach. So he's never been an offensive coordinator. He played quarterback in North Carolina, went to the Raiders in the draft, played 8 seasons, but in high school, All-American in basketball and football. Yeah, he was, yeah. He wanted to go to the UVA and focus on football, while his high school coach favored UNC to develop into a prospect for the NBA. He was very unpopular. They called him Benedict Curry, Benedict Ronald, or WHN. What's his name? He was voted sport. Really? It's really not good. Yeah, they said he was one of the greatest. 3 consecutive state titles in football and 1 in basketball. The 1996 Hampton High football team went 14-0, outscoring opponents 768 to 83. 14. So that's over 50 points a game and giving up 5 points a game. 51-0 over previously unbeaten Patrick Henry team in the state championship, one of the best teams in Virginia history. The 97 team also went 14-0 and posted similar numbers. He excelled at cornerback and kick returner in addition to quarterbacking. Michael Vick was in the same district as Curry in high school and was overshadowed by the accomplishments of Curry's team. Curry was almost universally rated higher in recruiting rankings. I feel pressure to compete against Ronald Curry, that Vick said. Bobby Bowden said he was the best high school quarterback he'd ever seen. He was damn good. Yeah. Most career passing yards, most career total yards. He was twice named MVP of bowl games, 98 Las Vegas Bowl. I was there in the 2001 Peach Bowl. He played with Julius Peppers. 3 different offensive coordinators. Senior citizen, his position coach was Gary Tranquil, who had joined the Tar Heels in 2001 after leaving the Virginia staff. He had a pretty good pro career, if I remember correct. Yeah, he was, Yeah. So what did he play? 193 catches, 23-47, 13 touchdowns. And, he was, he was. So these are the guys, these are the ones up for positions. Yeah. Crazy, right? This is what they're going for. We'll see what happens, right? Yeah, time will tell. Oklahoma State Cowboys hockey plans to move to D1 and build a new arena. Thank you, Game Notes, for that one. So I reached out to get them on a show. I'd love to get them on. This is from NBA Stats. Paolo Banchero. He said, I score a lot of points. I'm great. His coach Mosley says, you've had below league average. HEJ tells me this all the time. You've had below average 2-point percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw, efficient field goal percentage, which takes everything in and gives a more accurate of what your field goal percentage is. True shooting also every season, a negative plus minus and a negative plus minus every season, and you're not getting better. Why does that matter when I score a lot of points? There's a lot of talk around the NBA that Paolo and Jamal Mosley might not be seeing eye to eye, and that's what he's been saying about him. He is not an efficient player. He puts up numbers that really don't change the prospect of the game, but he says, well, I score more and more points, but they're not winning when you're on the court. You're scoring the points. Negative plus minus means your deficiency out there, and he's been playing for, and Banchero was the number 1 pick in the draft. Wasn't he? Wasn't Banchero the number? He's averaging 21 points, 8.8 rebounds, 4.9 per 6. 4.9, 31 points in the win over the Magic. Yeah, first overall. So let's take a deep dive on Banchero. Yeah, he's not he was rookie of the year. Last 5 games. Oh, so he was actually plus 27, minus 14, minus 6, minus 25. In the 3 losses. In the win, he was plus 27. And then they lost to Memphis. 4 straight games. In the 4 games they lost, he was minus 14, minus 6, minus 25, minus 7. Do the math. Yeah, he seems to be making a lot of mistakes in those games that cost things. But he still keeps playing, but that's the thing too, Oh, and tight ends supposed new uniform next year. I sent it to Dom and to Hal. I like it. I think that is nice. And Gary Patterson, the former TCU head coach, is now going to be the defensive coordinator at USC at the young age of, they'll be 66 next month. So USC really thinks they're going to do major things. Yeah. Good luck. Lincoln Riley, your team still sucks. Oh, this is also the Pro Football Hall of Fame understands and respects the passionate reaction of many fans, media members, and enshrinees of the Hall itself in light of published reports regarding to the voting results for the class in 2026. It's that very passion that propels the game. The Hall also respects the members of the selection committee when they follow the selection process bylaws. It is an honor to serve as a selector. Each year, the Hall reviews the selection process and the composition of the 50-person selection committee. If it is determined that any members violated the selection process bylaws, they understand action will be taken. This could include the possibility that such electors would not remain a member of the committee moving forward. The selection of a new class is the most important duty the Hall of Fame oversees each year, and the integrity of that process cannot be in question. I just don't understand. I understand the senior committee, but Elsie Greenwood, yes. Craig and Anderson, no. Kraft, Belichick, Elsie Greenwood. I don't understand how you pass over Bill Belichick. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Michael Cohen, Villanova eroded under former coach Kyle Neptune, the handpicked successor to Jay Wright, but at 15-5 and 6-3 in the Big East, this year's Wildcats are ahead of schedule in the rebuilding effort by Kevin Willard. He was at Seton Hall, went to Maryland, now he's at. So they're playing better basketball. Villanova. SGA is 311th in assists. He passed Isaiah Thomas, the former Celtic great, for 311th in assists. If you care, it's there for you to wonder at. Yes. Yes. Thank you, OKC Thunder Stats. Eric Spoelstra on the trade deadline buzz surrounding the team. Yeah, we don't really give it any thought. How can you? Yeah. The most sympathetic character in American sports, says Andrew Brandt. Listen, he's got a point there. We talked about Panarin. Panarin gone. We'll see where he ends up. Jason Williams and his rookie year jersey sells privately for $140,000, the most spent on any Williams item. One of the best tight ends in the country is headed to Eugene. Of course, I couldn't find out who that was. I got to ask. I have to ask Dale Bliss about this. Bill Belichick career ranks among NFL head coaches all time. 6 Super Bowl wins, first. 9 Super Bowl appearances, first. 31 playoff wins, first. 302 regular season wins, third. 333 total wins, second. First ballot Hall of Fame, no. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see. Ken Anderson. Kyle Pitts Sr.'s contract status will shape Atlanta's offseason the most. Well, Stefanski's there. We'll see what happens. A lot of guys. I'll tell you, they have so much goddamn talent with Bijan and all that. And you don't really have a quarterback for the beginning of the year. Michael Penix is going to be out for a while. Are they going to bring back, is Kirk Cousins in the conversation, or are they going to draft another quarterback? Well, Stefanski, you're out of Cleveland, which means you should turn things around. Yeah, I feel bad for Cleveland fans. I mean, not that Monken, no one wanted the job. Everybody turned it down. So, I don't know. Craziness. It's just bonkers, right? It's a little bonkers to me. Yeah, they're comparing the schedules of Indiana and Notre Dame. So Indiana plays North Texas, which got rid of everybody. Howard, Western Kentucky. That's like Michigan's schedule to start the year. Then they're at Rutgers, at Nebraska. I'm sorry. North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern, all at home. Then they go to Rutgers, Nebraska, home for Ohio State, at Michigan, home for Minnesota, USC, at Washington, Purdue. Well, right there, I would say you have 6 wins right off the bat. I think Nebraska's going to suck next year. And Matt Rule's not going to be around much longer because he's not bringing guys there. And they lost, who the hell? Oh, man, they lost the quarterback. Who went to Oregon? Oregon transfer quarterback. I can't think. Dylan Raiola. Raiola is gone. So they have that. So so they're compared to Notre Dame. Notre Dame has Wisconsin at Green Bay, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, at UNC, Stanford, at BYU, because they got rid of the USC game, Navy at Foxborough, Miami, Boston College, SMU at Syracuse. Purdue's going to suck. You got the former, who's the Michigan State coach? Michigan State football. I'm blanking. Michigan State. No, that's not what I want. Michigan State football coach. Football coach is, Pat Fitzgerald. Okay, so you got Pat Fitzgerald. Total rebuild there. That team's a shit. Okay, Wisconsin. Fickle was terrible last year. Okay, so they got that. Rice, that's like playing a high school team. No offense to Rice. They got some good players, but come on, let's be honest. Michigan State, terrible last year. He's going to be rebuilding the whole team. Purdue sucks. UNC sucks. Stanford sucks. So now we got 6 wins right there. BYU should be better than Navy. Navy can't compete with them. Miami, that should be the toughest game. BC is going to suck. SMU will be. So basically, the 2 games I would think about on the whole schedule where I'd say BYU and Miami. Other than that, I think Navy will have a good team, but they're not good enough to compete with them. And SMU, okay, so I'm going to go with BYU, Miami, SMU. Syracuse is going to suck. So neither team has, they have some tough games, but Washington, Michigan and Ohio State, that's it. That's the only. Yeah, both teams have. I actually would say Notre Dame has more challenging schedule because you're going to play SMU, BYU, and Miami. Whereas I say for Indiana, the two toughest games are against Michigan and Ohio State. And I don't know how good Bryce is going to be playing for Michigan. He's got to take a big jump up in his play. So we'll see what happens. I saw this on Front Office Sports. Pacific Lutheran is a D3 school with an enrollment of 2,700. Tuesday night, the Lutes drove 45 minutes to play Washington for the first time in 24 years. They beat the Big Ten Huskies 3-1. Had to be freezing there. I mean, it's got to be colder. But I love whenever stories like this. Now, baseball's a little different. D3, there is. But, one game, one guy pitches well, your best pitcher, you have an off night, it's over. So congrats to them. Chris Dudley is making his second run for governor of Oregon. I wish you the best. Good luck with that. Oh, and this was something I saw the Street Man Fighter. For all those people saying out there, Sam Darnold's the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to make it to a Super Bowl, 2018 NFL seventh round draft pick, and Super Bowl champion, Danny Etling, who finished his career with the Pats, played his college ball at LSU and Purdue. Danny Etling right now is a coach right now, is a assistant quarterback coach for the Washington Commanders. He's only 31 years old. And Chris, do you remember him? You remember Chris Streveler played for the Jets a couple games, got in there, played in the Canadian Football League. He went undrafted. He is with he is playing over there. So I saw him doing like a public speaking gig. And I was like, well, if there's one guy who's going to tell you never give up, that's a guy, never give up. So Danny Etling, yep. And we talked about Todd Monken, got his job. Tanner makes 9. Aaron Glenn moves on. The Jets have 9 coaching spots. 9. Well, now 8 because they signed Duker. Yeah, good. Yeah, they suck. Amalia Holgan channels her inner Mamba on senior night by dropping 61 points. She also hit the 2,000-point mark as icing on the cake. Amalia was the youngest player to play on Kobe's Mamba team. So let's look up Amalia Holgan. Amalia. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Amalia Hogan. There she is. She, Orange County Athlete of the Week. Is she playing college ball anywhere? Scored 61 points. The Texas signee averaged 26.3 points, so she's going to Texas. Congrats to you. Yes, we will give you props where props are due. So congrats on that. Yeah, 9th Grand Slam, 6 consecutive with a straight. I'm sorry, he's won his last 22 sets against Ben Shelton. Thank you, Jose Morgado, for that one. Yes, he sucks. Tuesday night, so powered by Verizon, the Pro Bowl games. Yes, we might be stuck in Florida too. The weather hasn't been great. Yeah, snowstorm coming, so we might be stuck here. Yeah, we shall see. Sabalenka is beating everybody. No way that's not happening. Yeah. Michigan 19-1, Nebraska fell to 20-1, 75-60-72. Mom got emotional. Terps women's basketball legend Christy Winter Scott got to call her daughter Brianna's game for Georgetown women's basketball. Thought that was really cool. Billionaire Ross Stevens is giving every U.S. Olympian $200,000, half as a cash gift at 45, or 20 years after their Olympic debut, half as life insurance. Athletes can earn up to $600,000 to support life after sports, which I thought was because they don't get the money. A lot of them don't get the money that other people get. Deion Sanders will fine Colorado players $500 for being late to practice. Well, listen, it's great they got the money, they can afford to do it. Tommy and everybody's upset that Eli did not make the Hall of Fame. Oilers are the first team in NHL history to have a defenseman score a hat trick in back-to-back games. Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm have made some NHL history scoring a hat trick in back-to-back games. The Jets now have a new OC. Are we shocked about that? No, we're not. Caitlin Clark will be part of NBC's Sunday night basketball show for Knicks Lakers this weekend. Knicks Thunder on March 29th. I don't know why she's not playing in the Unrivaled. I think it's a little interesting. This John Todd had this. No NFL team has a better record than the Bills, 31-10, since they promoted Joe Brady to interim offensive coordinator on Week 11, 2023. Now he's the head coach. Will it lead to something? We don't know, but that's something interesting. Sam Block said Jags went 13-4. Texans went 12-5. Colts are getting Indiana Jones back. Titans now have solid Dable. AFC South is the best. Let's slow a roll here. Salah and Dable. What did Salah do to get put in this conversation? What has he done in his career? I don't know. I don't. I mean, it's nice to have these ideas. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, Leonard Williams and Sam Darnold playing the Super Bowl. They drafted Quentin Williams. They drafted Sauce Gardner. Jets, and yeah, he loves going. He loves Justin Fields. I go, Justin Fields sucks. Yes. Yeah, so 5-5 in 2023. They turned it around under Joe Brady. The Bills this season ranked 4th in scoring and total yards. They ranked 2nd in yards per rushing attempt and 3rd in yards per pass. Brady interviewed for the Cardinals, Falcons, Ravens, Vegas, and Miami. Wait, who did the Cardinals hire a coach? Because am I missing this? Arizona Cardinals. Did they hire a head coach and I missed it? Yeah. Wow. Long shot to, no, zero control. Wow. Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur leaves Cardinals interview without a contract. Still no head coach 3 weeks in. Oh my God. What a shit show. That organization is just pathetic. Just embarrassing. So Brady interviewed for the Cardinals, Falcons, Ravens, Raiders, and Dolphins. 5-year deal. This past 2 seasons, Brady's offense the past 2 seasons. Allen MVP, rushing champion this year with James Cook, 1912 scrimmage yards and scored 14 touchdowns. Been talking about him for a long time. Is it going to come to fruition? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Someone wrote this. Everyone talks about Schwartz's record, but what they don't talk about is the one playoff game in 5 years. And Taylor Carlisle wrote, Ndamukong Suh was drafted by the Lions with Schwartz as head coach. Suh paid $420,000 in fines for dirty play over his first 5 years. 4 of those were under Schwartz. Listen, listen, there's certain guys you can control, there's certain guys you can't control. That's a guy you can, that's how he played. Ndamukong Suh played, Clark Hunt, Jeremy Bergman says, Clark Hunt sends on GM Football, Good Morning Football on NFL Network. The Chiefs certainly hope Travis Kelce will return in 2026. There's no doubt in my mind that he can still play. I don't know. What's the point? Yeah, I don't know, Yeah, I'm not 100% behind that. Richard Wellesley finishes as Texas' highest ranked signing, the 2026 Rivals 300, number 29, the edge rusher. So Hal and Dom still have to beat all the other teams. Patty Pimblett remains number 5 in the world at lightweight, despite defeat to Justin Gaethje at UFC 324. Ilya Taparia, Justin Gaethje, Arman Saryukin, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, and Patty Pimblett. Well, I mean, was a 5 round. He didn't get knocked down. I mean, it was 5 rounds. Football Bible. Mark Sanchez has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins combined. Yay! Nobody cares. Yeah, I found this guy, Jeff Dabe, known as Popeye or Anaconda. You've got to check out this guy's arms. Look at these arms. That's his arms. Dude. He is. So I want to get him on a show. I'm going to try to get him on a show. This was the other night. Elias Lindholm, 2 goals, 7 points his last 5 games. Pasternak, 6 Bruin to reach 900 point. JT Miller, 9 points in his last 6 games. Actually, the point. So he had 10. He has 10 points his last 7 games. Will Borgen, first goal in 24 games. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, 31 teams. Rangers last team to win a home game in January. Yes. So the Rangers still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They still have 3 more games. 1-6. Super Bowls won since the Raiders last won in 1983. Josh Dubois. Patriots 6. Giants 4. Niners 4. Chiefs 4. Broncos 3. Cowboys 3. Steelers 2. Bucks 2. Eagles 2. Packers 2. Rams 2. Ravens 2. Washington 2. Seattle, Saints, Colts, and Bears 1. And we will have, Denver will either have their 4th or the Seahawks will have their 2nd. So that's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, they suck. And I don't think they're turning around this year. Anyway, Spurs are the only team in the NBA to have multiple rising stars selected for All-Star Weekend in each of the past 3 seasons. Jordan Howenstein. This year, Dylan Harper, Stefan Castle. Last year was Castle and Wembanyama. And 23-24 was Wembanyama and Jeremy. How do you say his last name? It's not pronounced the way I always pronounce it wrong. Jeremy Sohan. Is that how you pronounce it? Pronunciation. No. Pronunciation. It is pronounced Sohan. All right. So he is not having that good a year. 27 games. Yeah, I haven't heard much Sohan talk this year. I thought that was kind of interesting. Very interesting. Yes, very, very interesting. In the irony of iron age, by exposing Ole Miss for allegedly tampering with a player, this is from Blake Topmeyer, Clemson pulled back the curtain on its fall from the national elite. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah, dude. What, tampering? Really? Dude, get back to where you need to be. So, and I want to, Igor Demin for the Nets. 40% from 3 at 19 years old, 6'8", lots to be excited about. He's made more 3s than 2s this year. So Nets fans, be excited. Be excited, guys. Yeah, he's having a season. Yeah. He's made 93 pointers, 42 pointers. Yeah, he can ball. The 2001 Patriots versus the 2025 Seahawks. Both teams, second season post Pete Carroll as head coach. Plus 6,000 preseason Super Bowl long shot per Pro Football Reference. First season with California-born quarterback as starter. Lost 10th game of season to Rams, then won rest of their games to reach Super Bowl. Very interesting. Thank you, Jake Andrade, for that one. Medish Meta said, Jets had an opportunity to build around Sam Darnold by drafting future perennial All-Pros Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell in 2021. They opted to give up on Darnold at the age of 23. I believe most Jets fans are rooting for Darnold. Their vitriol is directed toward the decision makers who made this franchise-altering blunder. Jet up, he said. Darnold is 1 win away from becoming Super Bowl champs. And now their head coach thinks he can call defensive plays. Yeah. How about this? Super Bowl appearances since 1997. Tommy DeVito 1. Dallas Cowboys 0. Tommy DeVito getting it done. Love it. I love I can scream no one's here. Yeah, so the Washington defense has regressed. Last season finishing with league high 384.3 total yards allowed per play. And the league's second fewest number of takeaways at 10. Their minus 13 turnover margin, the metric Quinn stresses the most as a gauge of team efficiency, ranked 31st in the NFL. Yeah, last season, league worst, not good. Who's taking over? Jones is taking over for a Maryland native, 4th cornerback at Temple and Morgan State, will be a first-time NFL play caller. Takes over Joe Witt Jr. So who is the Commanders DC? Commanders DC. I want to give them props where props are due. Jason Simmons, no. Durante Jones, that's who they hired. Durante Jones. So Durante Jones played at Temple Morgan State, first time to take over Joe Witt. Washington has more than 30 free agents across the roster and many positions. Yeah. Durante, you're in for it's going to be a little rough. Yeah, 30, yeah. So good luck with that. And you lost your quarterback last year. Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga, Lakers hold interest, but LA has nothing of value to them, which I don't disagree with. Yeah, Rutgers is in I saw this for Rutgers. Rutgers Athletic hits record $78 million deficit. New AD says it's got, you think so? $78 million deficit. I saw this. Oh my God. Top $70 million for the third time in 5 years. In 2024-25, the state university spent a record $193.8 million. $146.6 million in total operating revenues, thanks to a record $61.3 million from the Big Ten and its media rights, and $10.7 million from the conference as it shares in the league's football bowl revenue bowl. Those gains were offset by an 8.7 increase in Rutgers sports spending. $46.1 million for coaching salaries, $31 million in support staff and administrative salaries, $23.1 million in scholarship aid, $14.4 million in facilities debt, $13.5 million in team travel, and $8.4 million in student athlete meals. And they don't do shit. It's just scary. $47.2 million shortfall. Its deficit to $516.9 million since joining the Big Ten in 2014-15. And its expenditures have increased nearly 175% over its first 11 years. You can't make this shit up. Total expenditures in 2014-15 were $70 million, then went up to $80, $99, $102, $103, $114, $118, $138, $153. Then in 2 years' time, it went up $40 million. So you're talking in 11 years' time, it's gone up $120 million for a year. And you wonder, for what? They suck. And it was 3.7% of the university's $5.25 billion budget in 24-25. You can make the argument that we do not have an expense problem, Zinn said, but we do, in fact, have a revenue problem, and a pretty significant one. She's trying to improve their fortunes on the playing services, most notably by increasing the school's funding for NIL to entice and retain top-tier athletes. So their latest financial report doesn't include a $20.5 million NIL expenditure that the athletic department will be on the hook for during the current 25-26 campaign. Oh my God, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. She expects spending to exceed 200. Of course, if it was 193, it's going to be over $200 million. Oh my God. 27, she says they should be okay. 76 million. Okay, spent a record amount in 24-25, 76 million after 64.4 million the year prior. 17 million in coaching salaries, 11.1 million in support staff, 4.5 in student meals, and 2 million in recruiting budget. 2 million for recruiting budget. Yeah. However, the salary totals in the NCAA fiscal year report don't reflect the actual salaries paid to employees because fringe benefits are factored into the totals. Fringe rate is a percentage added to an employee's base salary representing healthcare and retirement benefits and payroll taxes. Their fringe rate, 72.9% in fiscal year 2025, is dictated by the state of New Jersey and is believed to be the highest of any Big Ten school. For what? What? Oh, yeah. They want to build a club level, premium seat options at the SHI Stadium and Jersey Mike's Arena. Yeah. And fundraising went from 8.5 to 8.1 in 24-25. So the Big Ten schools averaged 39.2. Rutgers was at 8 million. 39.2, 8 million. Why are they in the Big Ten? I mean, New Jersey Advanced Media Analyst. What the fuck? And let's look. Okay, so Rutgers football since entering Big Ten. Big Ten. Okay, here we go. Let's just do. Yeah, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about their. Oh my God. Okay, Rutgers football since Rutgers. Let's just go by Rutgers football since 2014. Since entering 7-6 and 5-7. That was their best. Yes, let's look at their. Let's look at their. Yes, here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's go by. Okay, 2014 was their first year. Okay, 2014, 8-5, 3-5 in the conference. They won the Crook Lane Bowl under Kyle Flood. That was their first year. Then they went 4-8, 2-10, 4-8. So that's still is Kyle Flood. Oh, then we got Chris Ash, who was Chris Ass. Then they went 4-8, 1-11, 2018, 2-10. 3-6 in COVID, 5-8, 4-8, 7-6 in 23 and 24 and 5 and 7. They won the Pinstripe Bowl in 23, lost the Rape Bowl in 24, and didn't make a bowl game. I mean, we're talking about since 2014, they've been to 4 bowl games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 years, 4 bowl games. Winning seasons in those 13 years, 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 13. Double-digit losses in those 13 years. 1, 2, 3. 4 bowl games in 13 years, 3 winning seasons in those years. Yeah, they went to a bowl game because nobody went during the pandemic. Yes. The Gator Bowl. Yeah, they went 5 and 8. Yeah. They went to the Gator Bowl, which they shouldn't have went to. Crazy, right? You read this stuff, you're like, I'm not making this stuff up. It is embarrassing. It's scary. This is not a team that should be playing in these games. You know, and the money they spent for what? For nothing. Oh, and Pavia at the Senior Bowl, Commodores listed him at 6 foot, 5'9" and 7/8. We thought, listen, I still would take a chance on him. He'll play. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is the number 2 second baseman on MLB Now. He's not going to be around forever. Good stat on the CHSN broadcast. LeBron James has the most career points of any opponent at the United Center. 1,013. Paul Pierce has 573. KC Johnson, yes, he's also played a shitload of years. So, I mean, I'm not, he can ball. So, but still, long time he played. Yeah, either Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito will get a ring in 2 weeks. Think about that. Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito. Yes, the Rangers won that game. Looking at my apartment. Eagles are set to have 20 players hit free agency in 26. 20, including multiple stars. 20, that's a lot. Hornets are 2 and 27 against the 76ers this decade. That's not good. And you know what? Did I miss anything else today? Let me see. Did I miss anything else? Oh, what did Rob send me? Okay. Head-to-head all time, the Dodgers and the Giants are 1,288 wins apiece with 17 ties. The Giants win on September 21st, 2025, squared the ledger. How about that? 1288, 1288, and 17 ties. The last time this even split had occurred was back in August 10th, 1896, when the Giants beat the Brooklyn Grooms. That is awesome. Dan Clark, thank you. Thank you, HJ. That's awesome. Jets defensive coordinator Brian Duker is expected to bring safety Ashton Davis with him to New York. It's been a while since a team had a ball hawk such as Davis, who had 6 interceptions as a part-time player. Didn't Ashton Davis start with wasn't Ashton Davis a former Jet? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in that? Ashton Davis. Yeah. Wasn't he drafted by the Jets? Yeah, the Jets drafted him in 2020. I knew he played for the Jets. So they're bringing him back, the ball hawk. He had an interception. He had a bunch of, with the Jets, he had 3, 6, 8. And he spent the last year in Miami. He's going to bring him back. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. HJ, awesome. That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. I was looking up some stuff. Did I miss anything else? Yeah. You need this? What do you need? The guys send me, it's all, you need, what do you need? It'd be good if you put something up that was interesting. Yeah. Nobody sent me anything of interest. No, nothing on there. Yeah, I don't know what you need. What do you need? What? Oh, new music from this guy plays music. Is that fabulous? Yeah, I don't find that interesting. Oh wait, we got more stuff here. Yeah. I would go with shit. Yeah, it's shit. Yeah, it's shit. So this is what ML Football posts. This is what ML posts. This is what he was responding to. Cody Bellinger was absolutely fried during his press conference. Glad to see he's put in that new contract money to good use. What did he do that he was so fried about? What did he say? Your question was. Yeah, I don't really care. That's not really news. What is this?
2
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, walk-off grand slam. That's awesome. Stuff that means nothing. Yeah, you need this. Okay, Jets. Yeah, Jets at halftime of week 1, yeah.
She can stay afloat with the first 4 compartments breached, but not 5.
Yeah, they suck. Yeah. I already talked about that. Pro football. Yes, he slayed many dragons. Yeah. Yeah. So no one sends me anything. A lot of stuff is just garbage. And I thought, am I missing something here? No. I realized that nobody's sending me anything. Oh, he mentioned me in a contract. Oh, for the Super Bowl pool, huh? All right. Sure thing. Sure thing. I'm in a bunch of grids. I'm in a lot of grids. All right. Is to text me in my Google. All right. Well, this is fancy stuff there, buddy. That's a lot of stuff. All right. Okay. There you go. We'll see if we want to do it. I'll see if Michigan wants to do it. We've done a lot. Thank you. So I saw that. Train delay due to hijack season 2. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care about that. Men's hoop with top 3. Now live. Yeah. That's what. So ML football. That's what I want to see. ML football. He sent me. ML Sports is the worst piece of shit in the world. But he sent this. JPA football. I'm sorry. Former NFL safety Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, says he mixed bleach with Coca-Cola to try passing a drug test. I came across on Google some shit that says put some bleach on top of your Coca-Cola. As I did that, it felt like my whole insides were erupting. At that point, I was like, fuck, I've run out of tricks. Great stuff. That's fascinating. And that you read it and you didn't talk to somebody and be like, maybe this is a huge mistake on my part. Maybe not. Ooh, yeah, it's not even sports. Yeah. All right. So nothing. Yeah, it's Rob gives a rare look into Tom Brady's single life. He was asked if single Tom Brady or married Tom Brady is more fun. He didn't hesitate to answer. Definitely single Tom Brady, but here's the problem. We flipped the script. I was single when I first got in the league, and Tom was married. I was like, hey, this guy's lame. He'll never go out with me. Wow. Now he's going out every weekend, and I'm at home with my girl. Good for him. It's fantastic. This is must read stuff. Most recently was spotted getting cozy with newly single Alex Earl. Oh, she's the one from that. And the influencer, yeah, she's influencing me. They were at a yacht party and met and broke off from a large group, talking for a lot of the night. That's exciting. He was seen out with Leonardo DiCaprio during his St. Bart's trip, focusing on work and his children. Yeah. But I love working and I love my kids. I love getting paid $37.5 million. Don't you? Yeah, me too. Douchebag. Okay, here we go. Let me see what else I have here. Okay, Pro Bowl games. I thought I had a trivia question. Yes, I did. What was last show's trivia question? Was, which I didn't think anybody would get anyway. Cadillac trivia question. Which Ranger recorded the most multi-goal games at 20 or younger? Which Rangers recorded the most multi-goal games at age 20 or younger? Don Murdoch with 9. Today's trivia question. Seeing if I missed anything else. I don't think I did. Okay. This is from Underdog. Can you name the first pair of former college teammates? The first pair of former college teammates to lead all rookies in scoring. Name the first pair of former college teammates to lead all rookies in scoring. That's their trivia question. I saw Barnes was here for a little bit. That was it. And yes. Oh, and I'm going to go on. I think I'm going on with Jeremy Karp with the Super Bowl show. So let me give him props. I don't know if he's on here. Joe Brady reveals that he did stand on the table to draft Keon Coleman. All right. Wow. So someone said, where do you want to see Giannis play next? UNC. That kid at the kid at Bama, the Bama kid, one or two of those guys would have to be gone. Two of those. So either another trade or next man up, hoping next man up. Yeah. So what's the point? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Still, so how many points are we up to? How many points are we? Because I was saying about it. So you got 14, you got 12, and 8. Okay, so you got 34 more points. So maybe 95 again. So is 90 winning? Is 90 winning? 90 is 90 95 winning playoff games? That's what I want to know. Is 90 95 winning playoff games? No, fucking idiots. No. So yes, Jeremy Karp has a show next Wednesday. Yeah, Super Bowl preview episode. Yeah, so I said, yeah, let's talk. Roundabout Sports, Jeremy Karp. All right, that's trivia for today. Have a great day. Peace out. I gotta go. Adios.